Hi everyone, and welcome to another Mental Health on the Mat yoga class. My name is Kelsey Wyman and I'm a yoga teacher and mental health therapist. I love combining these two tools, yoga and mental health tips, to create a whole being well-rounded practice for all of you. So thanks for joining me for today. We're going to go ahead and get started. We've been working on our theme this month of the elements. And this week, our element of the week is fire. So we're going to go ahead and get started by standing up and just creating some movement in our body, creating some bouncing in our body to get our lymph system flowing, get our heart rate increased a little bit. So go ahead and just start bouncing up and down on your heels here. Let your arms be loose. Let your core be loose. Let the strength come from your legs. Just generate a little bit of heat. You can tap on your sternum, which is where your lymph system drains out of into your heart, so your blood can circulate anything stuck in your lymphatic system to help cleanse it and release it. So that can help open up your heart here, open up your lymph system, or you can just let your hands flop around. Great. Go a little bit faster. One big breath in and come to stillness standing here. Notice the heat in your body, maybe the racing of your heart. Fire energy is all about passion and purpose and creativity. So we're going to generate a little bit of heat today with our digestive fire. We'll be doing some twists, as well as doing our fire salutation and some sun salutations. Go ahead and grab a seat so we can start with our breath practice. Make yourself comfortable. You will be want to be seated for this meditation practice today, as we'll be engaging our core, and it's a little hard to do that if you're doing a walking meditation. So find a comfortable seat. The practice looks like you can place a hand on your belly just until you start the practice to kind of get the movements down. You'll be breathing into your belly, and then exhaling by forcefully contracting your abdomen, sucking your belly button into your spine, like that. I'll be using my mouth just to exaggerate the sounds a little bit, but you can breathe through your nose or your mouth. Breathing in through your nose and out. Go ahead, breathe in. And really feel your abdomen tightening, clenching, sucking in towards your spine as you breathe out. And let it fill with air as you breathe in. Great. Release your hand once your body kind of knows what is happening. And we'll be doing this breath, starting slow and then increasing our pace. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Picking up the pace a little bit. Go ahead and keep going, continuing this pace. You may notice some temperature changes happening in your body. You may notice some flush in your system. Go ahead and just let your body do what it wants to do as you increase your heart rate, maybe begin to sweat a little bit. Continuing this breath. All right, release this practice. Take a big breath in and a long, slow exhale here. Breathing in again, let's do some lion's breath. In through your nose, bend in the elbows, hands on your knees, out through your mouth, tongue out. In through your nose, and roar like a lion. One more time, in through your nose, and out, roaring like a lion. Wonderful. Take a moment just to sit here. Maybe close your eyes. If it feels comfortable, or soften your gaze. Turn your gaze inward. What's happening in your body right now? How fast or slow is your heart beating? What is the quality of your breath? How connected are you to your extremities, your hands, your feet? How connected do you feel to your passion? The things that give your life purpose, meaning, that make life worth living. How much energy do you have in this moment? Are you coming full of life, ready to engage with fire? Or are you coming with lower energy and maybe needing to slow down the practice today, tailor it for your own needs? As we move through the practice, see if you can tune to any new ideas, any creative solutions that are coming through. And just let them wash over your body. I always like to have a notebook next to me for yoga. I'll be doing yoga and then get so many ideas and I have to write them all down so I can stay in my practice. Take one more big breath in. Maybe stretch your body. We're going to do a standing warm-up today. So beginning in mountain pose in the middle of your mat, root down through all four corners of your feet here. Inhale, breathe your arms wide and high, palms facing each other. Reach as far as you can up with your fingertips. Press into the earth with your heels. Sink your shoulders down as you continue to reach up. Breathe into your belly, into your lungs. And exhale, cactus your arms to the side. Lift your chin to the sky, chest up. Imagine that string pulling your elbows together behind your back, opening through your front line. And inhale to reach up. And exhale, cactus those arms down. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to cactus those arms down again. Release your arms to the side. Inhale them out. Drop your left arm down. Bring your right arm up and over. Gaze is going to look up through your forearm. Pull your upper elbow back, opening through the front of your chest. And breathe into the right side body. Inhale your arms up to the side. Drop both down. Inhale, reach them up to the sides. And this time, leaning over to the right side. Right hand drops down. Left elbow reaches up and back, opening through your left side body. And centering back in our mountain pose. Flowing here, we're going to inhale to the left side. Exhale through center, inhale to the right side. Exhale through center, inhale through the right. The breath is a little bit faster here. Inhaling, reaching up and over, exhaling to recenter, and inhaling to the opposite side. Last time, and coming back through center here. Wonderful. Go ahead and stretch both arms forward out in front of you. Clasp those hands together and send them both twisting at your hips to the left side. Wonderful. Back to center. We're going to send them to the opposite side on the right. Arms are locked straight. Feet planted on the ground. And add some movement. As you do this, rather than control what happens with your breath, let it happen naturally. You'll notice you want to breathe in as you rock back and forth and exhale as you twist. Let your massage of your abdomen here help create your breath. And release your arms. Keep that twisting movement. Swing your arms from side to side here. Let the movement come from your hips. One last time, meeting all together back in center. Inhale those arms up, palms facing each other. Exhale, cactus your arms to the side. Inhale, reach up, and exhale. Send those hands down and forward in a nice long forward fold. Let your hands grab onto opposite elbows here. Breathe into your low back, breathe into the back of your legs. Release your hands down to the mat. Let them slide up your legs as you roll your spine on up, coming to standing in the middle of your mat here. We're going to warm up our legs. I'm going to turn just so I'm facing the long side of my mat here. Put your hands on your hips, shift your weight to the right side, pick up your left foot, and go ahead and gently swing this leg. Finding your balance, you can always use something to hang on to. Just loosening your hips here. See if you can let your foot be as floppy as it can be. And then try out the opposite. Engage your heel, engage your knee, flex your foot, and see how the movement in your hip is different if you straighten your leg. And plant your left foot down on the mat, doing the same with the right, shifting your weight over to the left side. And first, just letting your foot be floppy as you rock your leg back and forth. Always finding balance if you need to. And then engaging your leg, flexing your toes, straightening your knee, and noticing just how the movement is different in your hip here. And come to stillness. I'll teach you the breath of joy, which I know that we've done before, but it's one of my favorite breaths, and it's great for increasing your heart rate and calling in this like passionate fire energy. So we'll do this, and then we'll get started with our fire salutation. Our breath will be inhaling our arms up, inhaling our arms to the side. Yes, there's actually 3 inhales in a row. Inhaling our arms up, and then we'll exhale all 3 of those inhales as we send our arms down, head down, upper body down to the mat. So it looks like this. Let's try that 3 more times. Inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. One more time. All right. So our fire salutation for today, we're going to start at the top of our mat in mountain pose. Place your feet underneath of you, knees, hips, shoulders stacked, palms facing forward in mountain pose. Inhale your arms to lift. Exhale, sink down into chair pose. Make sure you can see your big toes over your knees there. Holding in chair pose for a moment. Clasp your hands together above. We're gonna inhale, send our arms back, rolling our shoulders back. And exhale, chop our arms down as if we're chopping some wood. Wonderful. Continue this movement downward, bending in the knees to plant your hands on the mat in front of you, walking your feet backwards to plank pose. Here in plank, we're gonna do one push-up with our legs lifted, tucking your elbows to your chest, then planting your knees on the mat and doing a second push-up here, elbows tucked into your chest. On this second push-up, we're gonna shift our weight back, walk our arms forward into puppy pose. For all of our poses today, if anything gets too intense, please feel free to come to puppy pose at any time. Hips to the sky, forearms to the mat, shoulders reaching down to the mat. You could even rest your forehead on the mat for a moment of reprieve. Continuing our fire salutation, shift your weight forward, tuck your toes. We're gonna lower our chest down to the mat, hips staying lifted for just a moment. Once our chest hits the mat, then we'll lower our hips, lower our forehead, untuck our toes all the way down. Great, moving into cobra, squeezing your legs together, lifting up your chin, your chest. No weight in your fingertips here. And exhaling all the way through to downward dog. Lifting your hips to the sky. Grounding through your toes and both hands. Shoulders pressing into the mat. You can choose to stay here in downward dog if it's available to you. You can choose a 3-legged downward dog variation. So option 1, you can just bend the left knee a little bit. Option 2, raise that left foot as high as you can. Option 3 is the full extension. We're gonna exhale, bring our knee to our chest before planting it down on the mat, rising on up for crescent pose. Back heel stays lifted, palms facing each other, hips squared to the front with shoulders. Exhale, hinge at the hips just to reach forward. Keep your ears tucked in between your arms here. Continue that movement all the way down. Bring your left foot back to plank pose. Moving through our push-up sequence. One push-up with your legs lifted. One push-up with your legs lowered. And sinking our hips back. Hands forward. Hips to the sky, knees on the ground, puppy dog pose. Shift your weight all the way forward this time. Coming down to cobra. Squeezing your legs together, lifting your chin, your chest. And exhaling to press all the way through to downward dog. Wonderful. Repeating on the opposite side here, you can choose your variation, bending your right leg, Straightening your right leg, lifting it a little bit, or lifting it all the way up for a full extension of three-legged downward dog. Exhaling, crunching that leg towards your chest, planting it down on the mat, rising on up for crescent pose. Hinging at the hips, keeping your ears in between your shoulders here, reaching forward. Exhaling, planting your hands down on the mat, sending your right foot back. 1 push-up, 2 push-ups, and lowering yourself all the way down, untucking those toes, lifting for cobra. And exhaling all the way down to downward dog. From here, we're going to walk our feet forward and rise on up to complete our fire salutation. We'll go through that one more time, just a little bit faster so your body gets used to it. This time you can focus on calling in the energy of fire, passion, purpose, creativity. Inhale, lift those arms. Exhale, sink those hips. Clasp your hands together. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, chop the wood down. Continue the downward movement to a forward fold. Step on back into plank. 1 push-up, 2 push-ups. And send your hips back for puppy dog. Shoulders down to the mat, forehead down to the mat. Inhale, shift your weight forward, lower on down to cobra. Squeeze your legs, lift that chin and chest. And exhale, send your hips to the sky for downward dog. Choose your variation of three-legged downward dog on the left side. Crunch that leg into your chest, plant it on down, rise on up for crescent lunge. Hinge at the hips, reaching forward, find that fire and strength. Exhale, arms down to the mat, back to plank. Push up 1, push up 2. Press on back for puppy dog pose. Reach those arms forward, take a moment of peace. Then send your weight forward all the way down to the mat. Squeeze your legs, lift up for cobra. Exhale those hips high to downward dog. Inhale, right leg high this time. Choose your variation of three-legged downward dog. Exhale, crunch it towards your core. Plant that foot, rise on up, crescent pose. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Send those arms forward for just a moment, then plant them down on the mat. Coming back into plank, push up 1 and push up 2. Send your hips back for puppy dog pose. Send your weight forward, come all the way down to the mat. Lift up for cobra. Exhale into downward dog. Take a moment here, pedal out your feet. Give gratitude to the heat in your body, the racing of your heart. And walk with both of those together towards the top of your mat. All right, how's everyone doing? I hope you're all good. We're going to move into our sun salutations for today. We'll start with a basic sun salutation, which most of you already know if you've been following along with these classes. And then we'll add on some twists to help build that digestive fire. starting in mountain pose. Inhale your arms high. We're going to exhale, keep our hands lifted, but just reach them back. You can start the movement from your shoulders. And then send your arms forward into a forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins for a halfway lift. And exhale, bend in the knees, plant your hands on the mat, step your left foot back, plant that left knee on the mat for a low lunge. Rise on up, hands lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat on the inside of your right foot here. Send your right foot back, lowering down using our 8-pointed lowering technique. We're going to keep our hips high, keeping our toes and knees on the mat, lowering our chest down to meet our hands, then releasing our hips, releasing our feet. Inhale, squeezing our legs together, lifting our chin and our chest for cobra. Fingertips light on the mat here. Tucking our toes, passing through tabletop as we come into downward dog. Inhaling, bringing our right leg forward with us. Back heel stays lifted. Rising on up to crescent pose. Plant both hands on this front leg. Bring your left leg to meet your right leg at the top of the mat. Sink on down into another forward fold. Let your arms be loose. Take a breath and then roll your spine all the way up to mountain pose. And that'll be the base for our sun salutation today. Repeating on the opposite side, inhaling those arms up. Roll those shoulders back for a mini back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Send your right leg back this time. Right knee goes down to the mat. Inhale those arms to lift for a low lunge. Exhale, plant those hands back down. Send your left foot back, meeting in plank, lowering your knees, lowering your chest first. Then your hips and the tops of your feet follow. Inhale to lift for cobra. Exhale, release it all for downward dog. This time sending our left foot forward as we shift our weight, coming up into crescent pose. Arms lifted, palms together. You can always double check that you can see your big toe on the inside of your left knee there. Plant both hands on the top of that left leg. Step forward, hinge at the hips into a forward fold. And then roll on up for mountain pose. Now, are we feeling the energy of the sun yet? I definitely am. Adding some twists here. Inhale, arms up. This time you're going to clasp your hands together. Send them over to the left side, creating a side stretch on the right side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Walk both your hands on the mat over to the left side. Again, creating stretch on the right side body here. Exhale, bring it back to center. Plant your right hand on the middle of the mat. Inhale your left hand high for a twist. Come up onto your fingertips for a halfway lift. And then exhale back down to the mat. Bend in the knees, plant your hands on the mat, step in your left foot back. left knee down. Inhale those arms high for crescent. Exhale, bring them to heart center, palms facing each other. Send your left elbow over to your right knee. Right elbow over to the sky. Breathing into your lower left abdomen. Exhaling, planting your hands on the mat. Sending your right leg back, lowering your chest down first. Hips and the bottoms of your feet follow. Inhale for cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Here in downward dog, ground through your right hand and both feet. Begin to walk your left hand across your core, reaching towards your right foot. Send it back up to the top. You're going to bring your right leg forward with you as you inhale your weight up to our crescent lunge. Exhale your hands to heart center again. Send that left elbow over to your right knee, right elbow up to the sky. Untwist, plant your hands on your front leg. Hop, skip, jump, whatever you need to do. Lift that left leg up to the top of the mat. Come back down in your forward fold. Stay through your midline, stay through your center as you roll on up to mountain pose. And repeating on the opposite side. Inhaling, arms up. Clasp those hands together. We're sending our arms over to the right side. Inhaling through center. Exhaling, forward fold. Walk your hands over to the opposite of your right foot, the outside of your right foot. And then exhale back through center. Plant your left hand down on the mat. Inhale, right hand high. Gaze is going to follow that right hand up. And exhale back down. Plant both hands on the mat. Send your right foot back this time. Right knee reaches the mat. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Your right elbow going over to your left knee, left elbow to the sky. Exhale, plant your hands down on the mat. Send your left leg back. Chest comes down first, then hips. Inhale for cobra. Exhale all the way up to downward dog. In downward dog, ground through your left hand, both feet. Slowly walk your right hand towards your left ankle. Send it back up next to your left hand. This time bringing your left foot forward. Inhaling up to crescent pose. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Right elbow to left knee, left elbow to the sky. Pressing into your palms together. Untwisting both hands on top of your left knee to hop on up to our forward fold. And then roll on up for mountain. All right, continuing this flow here, adding in some extra twists. We're gonna inhale our arms up. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Gaze follows that left hand back. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your right leg to the middle. Bring your left leg behind you to create a little extra twist in your hips. Same thing here. Keep your legs in place as you bring your right hand to the middle of the mat. Inhale, your left hand high. Careful with your balance here. Exhale that left hand down. Untwist your legs as you step back into plank. Lower those knees. Lower your chest. All the way down to the mat, then inhale for cobra. Exhale, tuck those toes, downward dog. This time we're gonna inhale our left leg high, three-legged downward dog. Exhale, shift our weight forward, crunch that leg towards our chest. And then inhale it high one more time. Send your left leg forward, crunching it towards your chest. Plant it on the mat. Inhale up to our crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing your right elbow to your left knee. Palms squished together. We're going to open our hands this time. Opening them wide. Left arm high, right arm low. Exhale, bring them together again. Hands on your knee. Step forward into our forward fold and exhale all the way down. Roll on up. Back to standing. Beautiful. One more time on the opposite side here. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, twisting right arm back, left arm forward. Gaze follows your back hand. Inhale to lift those arms. Exhale all the way down to our forward fold here. This time bring your left leg to the middle. Right foot tucks behind you. Bring your left hand to the center as you inhale up through the right side. Mindful of your balance here. Exhale that hand back down. We're going to come to our plank pose, lowering our knees, lowering our chest, all the way down to the mat. Inhale for cobra. Exhale all the way to downward dog. Lifting our right leg this time. Three-legged downward dog, any variation that works for your body. Exhale, crunch it towards your chest as you shift your weight forward. Send that leg back to the sky. Crunch it forward one more time. Plant that foot down on the ground. Rise on up for crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left elbow to right knee. Get your elbows in place first. Then open your arms. Right arm reaches up. Left arm reaches down. Exhale, plant both hands on that front knee. We're going to bring our back leg forward as we hinge into our forward fold. And then roll all the way up to mountain pose. Excellent job, everyone. We're going to go through our fire salutation one more time, and then we'll do a cool down for the rest of our practice today. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, sink down into those hips. Really feel the strength. Clasp your hands together. Exhale, nice strong chopping force. All the way down to plank. First push-up, legs lifted. Second push-up, legs lowered. Send your hips back, arms forward for puppy pose. Shift your weight forward down on the mat. Inhale For cobra, lifting just your chest. And exhale to downward dog. Choosing your variation of three-legged downward dog, starting with the left leg. Sending that leg all the way forward, rise on up for crescent pose. You'll notice the fire salutation is very similar to sun salutation. Hinge at the hips. Reach on forward. Exhale, arms down for plank. First push-up, legs lifted. Second push-up, legs lowered. Send the hips back, arms forward, puppy dog pose. Shift your weight all the way forward, coming down for cobra. Inhale, lift that chest and chin. Exhale all the way to downward dog. Three-legged dog on the opposite side, either bending that leg or lifting it to the sky. Crunching it to your chest, rise on up for crescent pose. Hinge at the hips. Head stays between your arms as you send those arms shooting forward. Then exhale them down to the mat. For plank pose, push up 1, push up 2, puppy pose. Shift your weight forward for cobra. And exhale for downward dog. Take a moment here. This is our last standing pose. Take some deep breaths. And as you bend your knees to come to a seated pose on the mat here, really let all of your energy come with you. Maybe close your eyes. Check in with your heartbeat. Check in with your breath. Check in with the extremities of your body, your hands and your feet. Inhale your arms high, palms facing each other. Plant your right hand on your left knee. Send your left hand back behind you in a nice deep twist. Breathing in through the crown of your head, exhaling a little bit deeper into this twist. And then unwinding, making your way back to center. Inhale your arms up, palms facing each other. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Gaze over that right shoulder. Finding length from tailbone through the crown of your head, twisting a little bit deeper. And coming back to center here. Keep your left leg as it is. Maybe bring your shin parallel to the long side of your yoga mat. Bring your right knee up over to the side. You're going to bring your right foot as far as it can go to the side. Drop your right knee down towards the bottom of your left foot. Plant both hands on your knees here. Sit up nice and tall for deer pose. We're going to inhale our arms up. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind us. Again in a gentle twist. finding a little bit of a deeper twist here and untwisting, coming back to center. We're going to switch out our legs, bringing our right leg shin parallel to the long side of our mat, moving our left leg over to the side here, foot as far away from us as we can get before turning our left knee down towards our right foot and tucking our left foot back in there. Hands on both knees, sitting up straight, being a proud little deer. Inhaling your arms up. We're going to exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind us. Deepen a little bit more. Breathe into your low belly and come back to center. Starting with crisscross legs, we're going to tuck our right foot towards our left hip. Bring our left foot, so you can keep it centered here with your left knee high. That's option A. Or you can bring that left foot over to the right side. Or you can tuck that left foot in towards that right hip there. So 3 different variations to crisscross your legs over here. Inhale your arms high. Exhale, bring your left arm under, right arm over, crossing in the elbows, backs of the hands together. If you can twist around to get the fronts of your hands together, that works too. Whatever is most comfortable for your body. Inhale, lift these arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck your elbows in towards your chest, forehead towards your hands, making a nice little ball. Rise on up, lift these hands again, untwist them first and very slowly with a lot of support. Gently untwist your legs. Bringing first your left foot towards your right hip, knee out front. Option 1, right foot stays on the right side, knee lifted. Option 2, cross that foot over. And option 3, tuck your right foot closer towards your left hip. Inhale your arms high. This time, right arm goes under, left arm over top, crossing in the elbows, backs of hands touching, or wrapping all the way around. Inhale the elbows high. Exhale, tuck your elbows to your belly, your forehead towards your hands, curling on down. Slowly untwisting everything, we're going to come to laying on our backs today. Bringing our feet close to our sits bones, walking our heels up, tucking our knees to our chest, and rocking side to side. You can choose a variation of twist to take here, or as always, do any last movements that you want to do for your body that feel really, really good. Maybe I'll guide a few twists and then you'll have some intuitive movement time before Shavasana. So let's stretch our right leg long, keeping our left knee towards our chest, fingers interlaced around it. Grab onto your left knee with your right hand. Let your left hand fall down to the mat. And gently pull your left knee over to the right side, maybe even picking up your left hip to send that leg over further. Always remembering to breathe into your low belly here. Untwisting. Letting your left leg stretch long. This time bringing your right leg, right knee closer to your chest, fingers interlaced around it. Leaving your left hand on your right knee as you bring your right hand down to the mat. Slowly pulling your right knee over to the left side and maybe even picking up that right hip to send it a bit further. Unwinding here, stretching that leg long. And taking those last movements of fire that your body wants and needs before you can fully release to the earth. Finding a good, comfortable Shavasana position for yourself. You're welcome to reflect on the passion you're calling into your life, the creative solutions you're calling into your life, the creative projects you're calling into your life. Or just let your mind wander. As always, my voice will guide you when it's time to come out of Shavasana. For now, just enjoy the moment. Before opening your eyes here, see if you can notice the light dancing on the inside of your eyelids. What colors and textures and squirmy little lights are moving around just on the inside of your eyelids. And when you're ready, you can flutter those eyes open and look around and notice the light around you. The natural fire, the technological fire. Bring some movement into your fingers and toes. A good big stretch. As you wake up from Shavasana, roll to one side. Use your top hand to press up into a good seated position and find a way to thank yourself for your practice today. Giving yourself a hug, a bow, a handshake if you can manage that, whatever you need to do to thank yourself for this moment. I love getting to work with fire. There's so much intensity in it, and I feel so strong whenever I practice with fire. So I hope you got to experience some of that too today. Next week we'll be dealing with our last element, the element of fire. Nope, we just did fire this week, the element of air. So I hope to see you then. We'll do some more breath, some more movement, and an air salutation. Thank you everyone so much. Bye.